Finally, my time in the sun. We can take a serious look at theater. Oh, a movie. Oh well, the medium of film is also a powerful and entertaining medium for storytelling. Some of the greatest tales of romance and adventure have been on film. What? We're covering Jupiter Ascending. Well, some movies have that stuff. This one has, bees and space werewolves and space dragons.
Why are people hating on this film? I thought it was a masterpiece right up there with Twilight, Battlefield Earth, and Catwoman.
Yeah, could have been a little more subtle. 6 out of 10.
Out of 10 with rice.
You forgot Daredevil.
Thank you, yeah boy. Indeed, subtlety is a fine art in criticism. One that our caffeinated friend could improve on.
Oh, Wachowskis. How much more pseudo-philosophical BS can you cram into yet another mediocre action film? This has all of the telltale signs of a Wachowski production. Stilled, emotionless acting, overblown and pointless action, a hilarious performance where the actor gargles their words like they're choking on spoonfuls of Jell-O, and of course a meaningless ham-fisted dialogue that sounds like it was written by a 12-year-old who just read the Spark Notes page of Atlas Shrugged.
Devin Dillon, hey, Matrix Revolution changed my life, and I resent the idea that overblown violence and explosions can't be deep and meaningful.
Overall, this is how I feel about the movie. More specifically, my main criticism is that the movie has a lot of ideas and focuses on the wrong ones. It seems like a neat universe, but was this really the best story they could come up with to debut it? And my second main criticism is that the movie is weirdly regressive. The plot can be boiled down to Mila Kunis gets in trouble, and then is saved by Channing Tatum like 5 or 6 times in a row. And the title heroine's main 3 actions are 1. Trying to bone Channing Tatum, not that I blame her. 2. A thing she almost gets tricked into doing. And 3. A decision not to do a thing. Also, super white space is super white space. I appreciate that one of the few people of color was in a position of authority, a space cop, a competent space cop even, but the 4 people of color I saw were all secondary at best. So yeah, I enjoyed the movie, but it's got a lot of flaws, and I wish it wasn't bombing so bad so we might be able to get more stories in this universe, because it seems like it's got potential.
After watching Mila Kunis almost be forced to sign her life away to one of her evil space sons while Channing Tatum flies at breakneck speed through clouds of deadly, burning badness, we give the film about 20 minutes and Mila Kunis is being forced to sign her life away to one of her evil space sons while Channing Tatum flies at breakneck speed through clouds of deadly, burning badness.
This is typical female oppression! Fuck the patriarchy!
Yes! This exact thing is what annoyed me the most. They deeply needed to cut one of the evil space sons out of the plot. How about the one who decided to marry his reincarnated mother? And Evil Space Daughter needed an actual plot other than give Mila Kunis an evil space makeover. Eddie Redmayne was everything, and I want a sequel where he and Lee Pace as Thranduil try to out-fabulous each other. Oh, and apparently, Mila Kunis is just super okay with the mass harvesting of humans on other planets, as long as it doesn't touch her or her family. Cool heroine! I thought this movie was gorgeous and innovative and had a lot of fun moments, but I mostly wanted it to take a moment to breath. Every frame was so packed to the gills that I barely rested last night, haunted by very twisted and lurid dreams from seeing this movie.
Yeah, they could have cut the third sibling entirely and had the sister, pretty Mila Kunis, then try to marry her. Or even give the sisters some motivation beyond, I want to see my mommy again.
Now, Space Daughter's scene wasn't totally useless. Tuppence Middleton has a really nice acting repertoire.
It's really disappointingly heteronormative coming from the makers of Bound. But everything since then has been too.
Except that she's into dogs.
Ha! Yes! Yeesh and yuck. But he was a boy-dog person, just as all her failed past relationships were with men. Maybe that was her problem. She needed to broaden her mind like Cora and consider that maybe all her relationships weren't working because she wasn't really into guys. whether she was self-sabotaging them by picking dates with no long-term potential or not, we fans can always come up with something more progressive and sensible than what we're given.
Puppies!
We lost you at dogs, didn't we?
Yep, you nailed it. I liked it. It's not great, but it took care of a few hours for the low price of $11, and I am thankful for that. Usually at this sort of thing, my friends turn to me to explain the plot, but not this time. This time we all realized that it was better not knowing.
Closer to the Fifth Element in tone, I thought.
This presumably has much less sting in a codpiece in it than Lynch's Dune does, so it's got that going for it.
Wait, is that a pro or a con?
That brain mist. That depends entirely on your opinion of sting in a codpiece. Personally, I found it kind of horrifying.
How crude.
And now I can't stop imagining Eddie Redmayne in a codpiece. Perhaps the only way this movie could have been better.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing!
I went in expecting little more than a visually intriguing movie, and although there were certainly some interesting CGI shots of space cityscapes, some pretty costumes, and a few interesting creatures, this film failed to live up to even my low expectations. Large chunks of time were devoted to dizzying fight scenes that were mostly just blurs of color. The rest of the time we were treated to idiotic plot explanation and gag-worthy romance.
This is why science fiction is my most favorite genres. It's the Wachowskis' best science fiction creation since the Matrix trilogy.
While the visuals are spectacular, Jupiter Ascending suffers from a weak plot, forgettable characters, and poor direction.
You know what this needed? A musical number.
Actually, what it needed was some improvements in dialogue. It was so boring.
I mean, maybe, but I think all it needed was more space dragons!
But one question still remains. Did they kill off Sean Bean?
Thanks, Key DeVry, for asking the real questions.
This made me feel like a 12-year-old boy again.
You okay, Tyler? That's usually my shtick.
We're
Kind of worried about you. Yes, this movie may have broken my sanity. Well, I'll see you all next time.